all weekend.
All weekend, one of those days, just didn't have any of those sunny days, really. But that's fine. That's fine. That's kind of what happens. We needed a lot of rain. We got a lot of rain. And here we are on a rainy Monday morning, October 27th. That's producer Ryan. I'm Vic Faust. Glad you guys are with us as always. Arch City Now here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. We are all part of luinfo.com, the Lou information station, always live and on demand at luinfo.com. If you ever want to give us a call, you can do that as well. 855-282-8255. Hot Take Central 2.0 follows us every day as well, Monday through Friday. Glad you're with us from that standpoint. That's Cam Jansen and Jim the Cat Hayes. Boy, oh boy, sure to talk about the Blues. We'll get into that a lot today as well. Also, today is Hot Take Central 2.0, and there will be a lot to talk with from a Mizzou standpoint. A terrible weekend considering all things for Mizzou. Illinois lost as well. The Blues lost. I don't know if we had another local team, they probably would have lost as well. It just felt like Lindenwood lost, the local Division I football team. It's like, my gosh, what else is going to happen when it comes to this weekend? So we'll have better weekends, we'll have better days, and we can talk about all of that as well. We got NFL to talk about, the World Series. The St. Louis Machinists voted on their latest deal when it comes to Boeing. Cardinal Ritter parents have hired Ben Crump to go after the high school that the security force pepper sprayed them after what appeared to be a fight. The town and high school basically says, bring it on. We got video to prove what we did was needed to stop Cardinal Ritter players who were agitating, according to them. Cardinal Ritter players say that's false. So there's just there's a lot of that stuff going on. We've also got weather stuff that's going on. Stunt driving with fireworks being arrested, people being arrested in South St. Louis. The Arch is still open, by the way, for people during this government shutdown. And anything else that you guys want to talk about, we do that there. Highlights from the weekend for you, Mr. Producer Rye. Anything from that standpoint?
There was a really interesting Glory Pro event yesterday at the South Broadway Athletic Club. It was really interesting, and
what was that again?
It was a Glory Pro wrestling event. It was independent wrestling, and
okay,
it was a really interesting event. I loved it. It was nice seeing like wrestling up close, and you could really it was just interesting.
Have you always been into wrestling?
I've always been into wrestling, but now that I've been doing more with wrestling on the spectrum, it's just been more interesting just going into a deeper dive into the art of wrestling. I was just
what kind of level was it yesterday of wrestling?
It was more independent, and it was more people who were trying to get better, but it was a lot of people who had a lot of crowd noise and a lot of pop when they went out.
How many people do you think were there?
Say about, I don't know. We were giving away t-shirts, and I don't know how many Ed got, but I know there was at least 200 t-shirts, and all of them were gone.
Okay.
So it may be even more than that.
All right. So fair enough.
Nice
from the weekend.
Turnout.
That's good from that standpoint. Anything else you guys want to jump in and talk about? We'll do that as well. Glad that you're with us. Any stories, shout outs, news headlines, St. Louis. We cover it all. We do sports, we do news headlines, we do entertainment, we do restaurants, we do the water cooler talk, anything, everything from that standpoint. You guys want to jump in, let us know. The show is yours. And we love it when you guys, jump in on it and say hi and keep things going. NFL action over the weekend. Now we've got NFL officials being accused of rigging games yet again, because I don't know what sports league has the worst officiating. Is it the NBA? Is it Major League Baseball? Is it the NFL? I don't know. It's not hockey. No way. It's not hockey. I've often wondered it's the NFL, thought that it would be the NFL, and we'll see there. I don't know. It's this story makes you wonder, because if you were watching some of the NFL action yesterday, you kind of could see what I was talking about. That's for sure. So lots of things to get into. High school playoffs for football in the St. Louis area begin this week as well. People looking to get forward from that standpoint as well. Also, where did I have the other story here? Should be decent. We're in fall. Got a couple cloudy days here. The rain's going to start tapering off. Get some sunshine towards the end of the week, but it's really fall-like temperatures. That's what you're going to see. That's what's going on from that standpoint. I just look around here, the highlights from the weekend. I know it's been a couple days. I guess we could jump in right now real quick because it happened last night. Just give more people time to jump into the show from that standpoint. NFL action going on today or tonight. You got the Chiefs playing tonight in Kansas City, Monday night showdown. The problem is the Commanders are playing with a backup quarterback, Jaden Daniels. That's a big deal. Chiefs are probably expected to dominate that game. I think we all could understand why. From that, the Chiefs are 10.5-point favorites. That's a blowout in the NFL, by the way, going in from that lines like that. The matchup predictor has Kansas City winning at almost a 75% clip, because they're rolling. And then, of course, you know how the NFL works. That means if you bet on the game and take the Chiefs, more than likely somehow, some way, the Commanders cover at the very end of the game. That's usually what happens, or at least we've seen that happen quite a bit when it comes to the NFL and trying to figure out who and what they are and what they do. We had an interesting game last night. Aaron Rodgers against the Packers. The Packers look really good. Now another team steps up. Not that the Packers hadn't disappeared, but now they look like they're the best team in the NFL. The Packers, the Colts, who else? The Chiefs. Lions were off this weekend, so people don't talk about the Lions. Who else? Lions, Packers, Chiefs, Colts. I mean, you've got some teams that look really, really good. They're still playing. And if Buffalo came back yesterday with a vengeance, they're not going to go away. They came back out strong after a week off. But last night, Jordan Love looked like he could be the best quarterback in the NFL. Pittsburgh's defense isn't what they used to be, but they're still good. They still have pass rushers. And they gave everything they had last night. But down the stretch, fourth quarter, it was all about Green Bay. And you start to see. So Aaron Rodgers still playing well late into his years. He had a good game, but not as much, did not put up as much as Jordan Love did. With the Chiefs standpoint is interesting to me too, because they need to keep pace in their own division right now, because the Chiefs are not in first place. You're like, what? No, the Chiefs still aren't. They had a bad stretch to start the year. But you look at them, Denver 6-2. They won again yesterday. The Chargers are 5-3. The Chiefs are 4-3. So the Chiefs are now chasing the Chargers, who, by the way, beat them once already this year. And they're chasing the Denver Broncos, who are 6-2. So a lot of Chief fans in the area getting ready to get that action in tonight. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. It's always a great scene. I mean, literally a great scene, energetic scene at Arrowhead in Kansas City. I'm not a huge Chiefs fan. I don't root for them. I don't root against them. They are what they are. I'm just old St. Louis football guy. St. Louis football Cardinals, St. Louis Rams. Wish we had a team. We don't. And that's what we play with. 6:14 is the time. Arch City Now here, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. I'm Vic Faust. We've got producer Ryan alongside as well. Any highlights from the weekend? Let us know.
You know who's having a very surprising season?
Who's that, my friend?
The Patriots.
Yep. You know what? They are. Nobody can stop Drake May anymore. And dare I say, the Patriots are 6-2.
Yeah.
That's right. Vic said the Patriots are 6-2 and leading their division. Now the Bills are 5-2. But the other thing to keep in mind is two of the worst teams in the NFL are also in their division. There's 4 built-in wins.
That's literally every time the Patriots are good too. You always notice that. Like,
They are. You're
when the
right.
Patriots are good, their whole division just stinks.
Miami and the Jets are just brutal. The Jets pulled off a win yesterday. There will be no winless team this year in the NFL. I was convinced it was going to be the Jets, but even the Jets found a way to get a win in this parody of the NFL that we have right now that's going on. Just brutal all the way around. And then you talk about a really bad division, the AFC North. You got Pittsburgh, who's 4-3, and then Cincinnati, Baltimore, and Cleveland are all under 500.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, must be nice to be in that division. The Steelers will win that division.
Yeah, because both quarterbacks are hurt.
Oh,
Browns
yeah.
have a rookie QB, so yeah.
Yeah, so so that's what's happening from an NFL standpoint, if you guys wanted to jump in there. I just am curious to see where this is all going to go, how this is all going to play out when it comes to the season, the things that are going on, and so forth. We're here. We'll get in with everything. It is a Monday, getting you back into the swing of things. I'll start. That's the NFL side of that. I wanted to wait in our next segment to get into some of the things that are happening from the Mizzou standpoint, but maybe I jump in now. Mizzou lost to Vanderbilt. We know that. Okay. 17-10. And the problem that you have with that game is obviously they lost. It was a game they could have, should have won. They still can't beat a top 10 team on the road in the SEC. Everything was there for the taking. Your quarterback goes down, Bo Pribula, by the way, torn ligaments in his ankle. He is out for the year. And if you look at the play, it was a very dirty play. I'm glad a couple people on TikTok and Instagram started focusing on it because my son and I were watching this video. The kid should be suspended. You see a defensive tackle when Bo Pribula, the quarterback for Missouri, is trying to run into the end zone. He grabs his ankle, and then you see him twisting and turning, and it had nothing to do with helping to make a tackle. If it had, and you could probably see it if you look at it, producer Rye. If you look up dirty play on Bo Pribula, you'll find it on TikTok. He should be suspended for multiple games because you see him yanking against the flow of the body. Bo Pribula's body was going one way and he's yanking the ankle one other way. So Bo's out. He's done for the year. Be curious what his future is because the way of NIL, how it goes now, it's like you're today's story and tomorrow's news. I mean, it's just so weird how things go.
Yeah.
Especially because Missouri loses. But here's the thing. A kid comes into the game, literally a kid, Matt Zollers, 5-star. He provided something for Missouri's offense they didn't have all year, downfield throwing. Does he have the escapabilities of Bo Pribula? No. Does he have the experience? No, but he doesn't have that much less of experience. But he grew up in a game against Vanderbilt on the road, and his coaches said he gets an A. Outside of a handoff that I think was his fault, which cost Missouri the game, a blunder. And the post-game press conference, that's why on our post-game show that we do for Missouri, I wondered how this would work out. Whose problem was it? Jamal Roberts not taking the ball? Was it the quarterback? I think Eli kind of said that it was the quarterback. So, and I said in my post-game show that was the worst play. You're dominant. You have controlled the game. You're going down the field, and you gave it away, and that's what cost you the game. May have cost you your season for the playoff. I don't know. Missouri has a week off to get Matt Zollers ready, which is good because they're hosting number 3 Texas A&M, and it's not going to get any easier. But, and by the way, I know Missouri's going to be an underdog, and it would be a big upset to win that game. But if you did, and you've got a defense that can win games like that if everything else goes right. Missouri's defense proved they ended a Heisman campaign. Missouri's defense was freaking phenomenal. They ended Diego Pavia's Heisman campaign. And Matt Zollers had a better game, as it turned out, than Diego Pavia did. Literally was rated higher. Missouri has a chance. If they beat A&M, they're right back into the thick of things. They have they don't need help. Do they have to win out to make the playoff? Yeah. Would a 3-loss season be the end-all, end-all with a true freshman quarterback? No. No, it wouldn't be. However, are you disappointed they lost? Yeah, very much. But if Missouri comes back home in 2 weeks and beats number 3 Texas A&M with Matt Zollers, they're right back into the thick of things. Now, it's a big if. Vic, you're black and gold. I'm just telling you, it's sitting there for them. But now they have a freshman quarterback. And Missouri's like, when you're watching that game going, oh my gosh, could they play any better on defense? And could they not get some sort of drive? You're inside the 10 twice. Missed field goal. And then you go for it on 4th down. Some of the play calling is, but for Mizzou fans, it was there. It was there. The win was there. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at the SEC standings. That's what I'm looking at. And I'm trying to figure out a way that Mizzou could make it. They have no head-to-heads other than Texas A&M with teams that are above them in the standings. I don't know.
No, you don't know about what?
Like, I don't know how they can make a playoff push.
Here, I'll tell you how.
Because I thought the only team that they could lose to if they wanted to have a 2-win season would be Texas A&M.
No, if you're in the SEC,
anything can happen.
Well, if you're in the SEC and you beat Texas A&M, who's number 3, and you only have 2 losses with Missouri's schedule,
and it's Bama and Vandy, those are only 2
and
losses.
your only 2 losses were to number 8 and to number 10 by a total of 10 points, I promise you Missouri would be in the... Now, here's the thing. You got to win out. That's tough.
Yeah, you got to win out.
That's why my whole situation is if you beat A&M, who's 3rd ranked, your schedule, or at least your wins and your schedule is sitting right there for you. You'll be in the playoff. If you went out, you'll be in the playoff. Is it there? Yeah. Is it likely? No. No. But I'm saying it's still there. And Missouri's defense proved again on Saturday that it's one of the top 5 defenses in America, if not the best, considering what their offense did to them. They really are. They are that good. They shut down Diego Pavia. Everybody said he's the number 1 threat in America as a quarterback. They made him look bad. Diego Pavia did not look good. He looked barely serviceable. And they only scored a touchdown late in the game because of a turnover that Missouri had. It's the mistakes. Once again, the mistakes that ended up hurting Missouri. You wish it wasn't that, but it is. And you go from there. So, Missouri loses. They only fell to 19 despite losing their starting quarterback. I thought it might have been hit a little worse, but they didn't. And Vandy, I think, moved up 1 spot. That was at Vanderbilt. But I'm telling you right now, I was not impressed with Vanderbilt. Not at all.
At all. I haven't been impressed with Vandy all
But
year.
they only have to beat Texas or they're going to the playoffs.
Exactly.
I mean, that's it.
Then
that easy schedule that they have now is set up for them from that. So we talk about it from a Mizzou standpoint. A lot of Missouri football fans, obviously, in this area. The SEC.
Yeah. How many SEC teams do you think could make the playoffs?
4 for sure. And then we'll see after that. It just depends for other conferences. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the Big Ten. I'm not. The Big Ten, you know, you got Ohio State and you got Oregon.
And Indiana.
I mean, and Indiana.
Yeah.
Those are your 3.
Yeah, those are your 3.
And the rest of the conference is dog doo-doo. Sorry, Illinois fans.
Sorry,
your
Michigan.
team. Yeah, I mean, come on. It's not impressive.
Yeah, when Iowa can go to a bowl game every single year and they haven't had an offense in I don't know how long, it's kind of like,
I mean, the middle of the conference is just not very good. It's just not. You got some top dogs and then nothing.
I like Nebraska though. They're not bad.
I mean, maybe
but
Minnesota blew them out, and then Iowa just blew out Minnesota.
exactly.
And these aren't tight games like they are in the SEC.
Yeah.
That's what my issue was with them. And not to bore people with Big Ten stuff from that standpoint, but I mean, Illinois proved that they're nothing. I mean, come on. Washington handled them, and that's after they got destroyed by Indiana. It is what it is. But from a Missouri standpoint, they have a week off. They come back home. It'll be an electric atmosphere. It's going to be an afternoon or evening game against Texas A&M. Could you do me a favor and tell me who Texas A&M plays next week, if you can look that up?
Yeah, I'm about to pull it up right now.
Because I did not have a chance to see that.
I think they play oh no.
What's oh no?
They have a bye too.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah, so they don't play anybody. They just play
so they have a bye. So they're off. Missouri's off. They have a week to get ready for that game, and we'll see what happens with Missouri. You know, here comes the new era, and it's interesting to think and wonder. Matt Zoller showed that he is a good quarterback, thrown into the mix at Vandy in that atmosphere, and he actually produced. Did he have some overthrows? Yeah. But guess what? He moved the team. He moved the team down the field, and he didn't. And it's interesting. A friend of mine, he looked scared.
No,
I'm like, he didn't look scared at all.
He has really good pocket presence.
Boy, he has poise.
Freshman. Yeah.
I'm just telling you, the future of Missouri's quarterback position looks really good. He was a 5-star recruit for a reason.
Personally, even though it's one game, you don't have to pay Matt Zollers $1.5 million.
Well, no, not now. You already got him. Whatever you paid him before. Now you have to up it. They're going to have to up it to keep him.
You don't have to do it right now.
But you don't have to do it now, which makes me wonder, and you don't want to get too ahead of yourself. Does Bo Pribula see the field at Missouri ever again?
He could go back to Penn State.
And that's not unheard of. A friend of mine's son was at Purdue in the offseason, transferred to North Carolina.
Oh, yeah, and came.
Saw some craziness going on behind the scenes with Bill Belichick, his girlfriend, and some things, and said, this is not where we want to be. So they went back to Purdue right before the season, and he's a starting quarterback at Purdue.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, that's what college football is right now. Oh, yeah, I'm here. I'm going to go there. No, I'm going to come back. You don't even see that stuff in the NFL. So it's some cray stuff going on. We're getting out of the gate. A lot of sports on Mondays from that standpoint. We'll talk more Mizzou. We'll get into the Blues. The Blues have a game tonight as well. World Series is going on. Monday Night Football. News headlines. The weather this week. Yeah, we are definitely coming into fall. If you want to talk Halloween, we can do that. That's coming up Friday as well. Appreciate everybody being with us. Of course. Anything you guys want to talk about, jump in on the show. It's 6:29 on a Monday, October 27th. We're grateful you guys are with us today. We are getting everything done as we can. And of course, we are Arch City Now. Producer Rye is alongside. I'm Vic Faust. We'll be back with more of the show right after this. producer Ryan alongside. Thanks for jumping in on the show with us today. All things St. Louis all the time, national stories, sports, news, water cooler talk, things that are happening in the area. Just a gray, dreary, wet weekend in the Lou. As we jumped into fall, temperatures not the best in the world, but you got like 58 today, 59 tomorrow, 55 Wednesday. Lots of rain again this week. I mean, today maybe not as much, but more rain for Tuesday, more rain for Wednesday. Then you look at the weekend ahead. Thursday, Friday, looks like some sunshine, 57 and 60. Halloween looks nice, at least from a weather standpoint. Doesn't look freezing cold, but it looks like we get the rain done once we get through hump day on Wednesday when it comes to the St. Louis area and the weather from that standpoint. If you guys have interviews that you want us to do, people to talk with, we can do that as well. Glad you join us every morning. If you have story ideas, bring them to us. We'll do that as well. Also, if we're talking about a story that you like, jump in on the chat line. You can do it at Facebook, X, and YouTube. Once again, that's Facebook, X, and YouTube. Anything that, may get you going, we'll do that. We're talking about the weekend, your highlights from the weekend, if you want to promote events that are coming up this week. Not only things that are coming up this week, but also if there's charity events, you want to promote pool, high school football playoffs. That's a big one too that get underway this week. We'll push that forward too. Rough one for Rice St. Mary's Dragons on Friday against CBC. I thought about you and I was like, oh man, I think I did the sign of the cross when I saw that it was like 49-3 in the first half. I went, oh my gosh, nobody deserves to get that right now. Yes. They're very good.
It could have been worse. We could have been SLU. We couldn't have not scored at all,
SLU got what? What do you mean SLU?
That's what happened with SLU and CBC. It was like 30-0.
Oh, I thought SLU scored some points in that game. They didn't score points?
All I know is we scored more than SLU.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know what that final was.
I'm counting that.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Win.
Oh, I thought, SLU had a struggle with Rockhurst over the weekend. So that happened. I was like, oh, then I saw your Eastside boys lost. So I was like, man, down at IMG, of course, IMG, one of the country's best teams too, though.
The game was closer than what it looked like. If you actually watch the game, Eastside started off good, and then they threw a pick right in the red, like in their own territory. And then, it got bad. No, I think they threw a pick in the red zone. And then I think something else happened where they couldn't even get points on a drive. And you give up two times when you should have got some points out of a drive to IMG. That's what's going to happen.
Yep, that's what can happen. 6:37, October 27th. Did you like the Ocean's 11 movies at all? George Clooney, Brad Pitt, any of those? Do you even know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. All right. There's an Ocean's 14 that's coming. George Clooney said that it's written, and we'll see. All about thieves, where they pull off heist. Yeah, he actually joked about the recent Louvre heist, which was kind of an Ocean's 11 kind of theme, but for people when I just saw that come down, I was like, oh, look at that. They got one of those coming down the gateway. We'll see. Hey, when we went to break, we were talking from a Mizzou standpoint. The basketball team also played the other night. They looked really good. And Dennis Gates may finally, he's had some good teams, don't get me wrong. They just haven't been able to do anything past the first round of the tournament. But he has legitimate talent, tall talent. He's deep. We're in basketball or football season, hoping that Missouri continues to do well. But I'm telling you right now, they have got a basketball team that's going to keep people excited, in my humble opinion, this season as well. And ironically, we talk about how difficult it is in the SEC from a football standpoint. Last year, not even close. The best basketball conference in America was the SEC. Not even close. So you know that if you're going to be playing in that conference, you have got to be ready to play and bring your best every game because there's so much talent there. 6:39, October 27th. We're here, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, getting you going with some of the things that are happening in the area. You can jump in, let us know your thoughts from the weekend. Even yesterday, I talked to some Missouri fans. They felt like they were still like, oh, it hurt so bad because we were close. It's not like we got blown out, but it was a game we could have, should have won. And then we lost our quarterback, so we don't know what to feel or how that's going to make things work. So that's the college football standpoint. They're ranked 19th in the AP poll in the latest standings. Definitely could be worse. They have a bye week. Texas A&M also has a bye week. And then we'll find out probably this week what time the game is. Next, either today, tomorrow, find out what time that game is. Hopefully Missouri fans show up because it'll be an afternoon till like a 2:30, 3 o'clock. It's an afternoon time slot or an evening time slot as of now. So what will happen? We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. It's just there's going to be a lot of talk, a lot of hype. And then Eli Drinkwitz, the coach, even talked about how horrible the officiating was. He said there was a lot of really bad calls today and we were on the wrong end of it. I mean, the way he worded it was pretty good. And I have said, look up the dirty injury to Bo Pribula's ankle by the Vanderbilt defensive tackle and what he did and how he tried to, and it wasn't even part of the tackling motion. He was intentionally trying to hurt the guy. He was. Now, as football players, you're told to do anything and everything you can. Oh, Vic, you're crazy. How could you say that? Look at the video. Sometimes in life, there's video that proves what you think in your mind, in your heart. Sometimes there's not. But there was just a dirty play. Dirty freaking play from that standpoint. Missouri shouldn't have called that play on fourth down. It should have been a first down play call. But regardless, I feel really bad for Bo Pribula. I mean, Missouri loses Sam Horn in the first game of the year to an injury. Then they lose in the eighth game of the year, their other starting quarterback. So it's like, holy moly. Mizzou's now on their third quarterback of the year, a true freshman. Thankfully, he's a 5-star, gave Missouri a chance, and now we're going to find out what he can actually do. Hey, welcome to the SEC. You're going to play against a 10th-ranked team in America at their place. Go in, have fun. You're not prepared, but we'll see what you can do. Oh, yeah. The next time you go in, you're going to face the number 3 team in America. Welcome. That's what you do. When you go to Mizzou and you play in the SEC, you play big games every week. Big games.
Sounds like a movie just ready to happen.
Well, amen, brother. A positive one.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't even want to say what he's going to go in and do. I just want it to happen.
Yeah. Hey, I like it. I like when you talk like that. It sounds good. A movie. That's right. A Disney movie. 6:42 is the time on a Monday. Hey, we try to keep it light, try to have some fun, get you up and going. There's a lot of things going on in life as it is. You can jump in on X, on Facebook and YouTube, have some fun with us, say hi, anything, got the meter moving for you today. We can talk about that as well. All the above things that we have to talk about, we'll do that with you guys. The Chiefs, by the way, play tonight. Kansas City Monday Night Football hosting the Commanders. They're only a 10.5-point favorite. Seems like it's a game that will be a blowout. Who knows? I just know that Chiefs Nation is excited. My Kansas City Chief friends are excited. They feel that they've got the team that's there. Talked about it a little bit earlier today. Literally, who's the best? Congrats to the Jets. They actually got a win. I've got some New York Jet fans. That's the other thing that's interesting about being in St. Louis. When you don't have an NFL team, lots of people have different loves. Like they follow. You can go to a sports bar and people are all watching different TVs and different games because everybody follows somebody different. So I like the NFL, but I get frustrated from that standpoint too. So, you know, it is what it is. Okay. How about this for a story? We saw what happened last week when it came to the NBA having their black eye with gambling and then away from the sport, off the court issues with fixing games, poker games, and an NBA coach there with the mob. Well, now this is not a new story because officiating in the NFL has been absolutely horrid for many years. So much so that people wonder if it's fixed, and there's a script. You talk about it, I talk about it. Well, there's 2 games that are under major question from yesterday. The Eagles versus the Giants, if you saw that game. Tush push fumble. and the Ravens versus the Bears. So now you have many, many, many fans across the league accusing the refs of rigging the contest. There was a questionable no fumble call on a tush push play, and it was a fumble. It was 100% fumble, and the refs still couldn't get it right. And at that point in the game, it was the second quarter, it was 7-7. Just very, very sad. People coming in. Maybe the NFL likes it to keep the interest up. I don't know. But the NFL has a credibility issue. They do. I'm calling you out. You have a credibility issue. The second game, there was a very questionable offensive pass interference penalty late in the contest as well. That was very, very bad. So what I'm talking about is the first play was the tush push. It was a fumble. Eagles should have fumbled. Giants should have had the ball. Eagles went on to win that game. But of course, there was a questionable pass interference call that I was talking about in that game too. It's like, what the heck is going on? Now, when you move to the Bears and Ravens, the Bears lost the game to the Ravens. They think that was somehow rigged as well. Quote, the amount of flags the crew and the refs threw or didn't throw is crazy. Many calls that were missed or calls that just didn't make sense in that game. So does the NFL have a problem in your opinion? And it comes right here on the heels of what happens with the NBA. I happen to agree that NFL refs are ruining the NFL. I do. I don't know if they're not being held accountable. Is the game too fast? Are they just trying to rely on replay? It's unfortunate. The NFL, like it or not, it frustrates many of us, myself included. But it's still the number one sport in America by far. Ratings bonanza. The betting on it is absolutely insane. And it's unfortunate because it's almost like we still go back. It's like, and I hate to use this example of somebody who's being abused in some way, maybe verbally, but you continue to go back and you continue to go back because you're so beaten up. Emotionally, maybe, and you just continue to go back because you love it. That's what I feel like watching the NFL. It's like I love football, and I know what the NFL is going to do to me, but I still go back and I listen and I watch and I see what they're going to do. The NFL sunk their claws into me, Ryan. I'll speak for myself and many other Americans when it comes to watching those games. Chiefs playing tonight. We'll see. Very interesting from this week's standpoint. A lot of good teams, a lot of parity. And the Chiefs are 10.5-point favorites tonight over the Commanders with a backup quarterback. I have no idea what to expect in that game. It looks like the Chiefs would absolutely blow them out, but I guess you never know. 6:48, October 27th. Hopefully your Monday's getting started all right. Glad you guys are with us this morning. If you want to jump in on the show, chime in, let us know how things are going. Anything to promote from the St. Louis area, what's happening this week, we can do that as well. You guys chiming in. Also, keeping us posted. Like, subscribe, share the show, the things that we're doing. When you guys jump in, that's grateful. We are grateful for that. And anything else that's happening this week that we may not know of. Art City Now, you can catch us on X, Facebook, and YouTube. By the way, if you wanted to give us a call and talk about some of these stories, you're always welcome to. We appreciate it. The other thing is you can find that you can find when you have these situations that come up is this. There's a lot of sports that are going on. but there's a lot of news as well. If you want us to cover something more, let us know. We'll do that too. Mondays are usually pretty sports heavy, as we were talking about. Another sports story that's kind of a news story. It's a local one. We showed you the video earlier this year. Don't have to necessarily do it now. Cardinal Ritter has their piece of video, Cardinal Ritter High School. The high school that, I guess, Massillon also has their video. So there was started to be kind of a little brawl at the end of a game which Cardinal Ritter lost 28-14. Well, what happened on that October 3rd game is security said they were forced and left no other situation than the pepper spray the Cardinal Ritter players back. So you have Cardinal Ritter parents who have now hired civil rights attorney Ben Crump to go after them and sue the school. The incident began with some fighting during the post-game handshake. So coaches separated the players, and then police stepped in. And then there's video showing police officers who were not in uniform pepper spraying Cardinal Ritter players back to their sideline. So days later, police attempted to defend their use of pepper spray. They said that officers followed their protocol and gave lawful orders on multiple occasions for Cardinal Ritter players to leave the field and that the players wouldn't. They also said that Ritter players again charged after the first blow up. And they said they charged back at the Massillon players who were now near the band. So it's a he said, she said from that standpoint. But there was new video that were provided by police that shows pepper spray was used on players about 15 yards away from the band and they did not appear to be charging at anyone at the moment. So Crump has his team. They hired them. They're going to go after the school district. They're holding a press conference today in St. Louis outside Cardinal Ritter High School to provide an update on the matters. As of last night, the Massillon Police Department nor the city school district apologized for the pepper spraying. They said they did it. They had legal ramifications to do it. They followed protocol. They were trying to stop something from happening. And then that's where we are at this point in time. So all this as the season gets underway. Cardinal Ritter, by the way, looked really good the other night, taking down their rival, Lutheran North. And Cardinal Ritter, by the way, is a favorite, or at least could be, to go play for a 5A state title this year as well. They've got a very, very good football team, even though they lost that game to Massillon. 6:53 on a Friday morning. We talk about that story. It's like you don't want to see these things happening in high school. There's no need to have blowups. There's no need to have issues going on after. A lot of it comes with talking. There's a lot of trash talk that goes on in all sports. I hate it. I don't like it. It's there. It's in high school. I think it's more prevalent in high school than it ever has been. It's part of the society that we live in at times. There's really no need for it. But this is one of those times where, if you're not in an argument, you're not fighting, you're not putting your egos up there. I know there are younger kids and it's following a game. The game's over. There's no need to be doing anything like that on any side. And of course, if you're the away team, you never know what can happen to you if it's somebody else's house. Sure. So interesting that Ben Crump will, at least to me, he'll be in St. Louis at Cardinal Ritter High School to do a press conference. So obviously we'll keep you posted on where that whole story is going to shake out, what's going to be happening, where it's all going. And we'll have that for you tomorrow and let you know. Maybe there'll be something else that comes out that'll be on our shows later today as well. By the way, following us is Hot Take Central 2.0. That's every morning, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. and with Cam Jansen, the former Blue, and Cardinals broadcaster Jim the Cat A's. There's a lot to break down with the Blues, and not much of it good. Not at all. Not at all. And we'll get into the Blues when we come back in the next hour or after the break, because they have another game tonight as well. Then at 10 o'clock today, from 10 to 11, you have the MIZ STL show, Grant Salzman and myself, talking all things, really diving deep into what happened with Missouri and their close game loss, injury to the quarterback, Bo Prabula, where they sit now, what happens, dirty play from Vanderbilt, all of those things that are there too. Then from 11 to 1, it's Charlie Tuna and the posse. I ran into Charlie over the weekend. We had a nice little talk in a very nice little area. We saw him over at the Carmelite Monastery. It's like, hey, you doing all right? You doing all right there, boy? You doing all right there, Vic? Always love to catch up with Charlie outside of the studio. That's for sure. It's 6:56 on a Monday morning. If you want to jump in and talk Halloween for Friday, what are you dressed up as? What are your kids dressed up as? I like Halloween. I get into it. I always will. I do. For whatever it is. Just, it is what it is. Keep us posted. And, jumping on the show. What are your plans for this week? What are your plans for the weekend? We can certainly talk about all of those things as well. When we come back, we'll jump into the Blues. We'll give you your news headlines for the morning as well. Anything else that you guys want to add, please, you're always welcome. Put it in there. Jump it in. We'll talk from that standpoint. Producer Rise alongside. I'm Vic Faust. If you want to give us a call, you can do that as well at 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. You can also jump in on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Like, subscribe, share the show, give your comments, whatever the case may be. We are your Lou Information Station, and we are live and on demand at louinfo.com. It's October 27th. It's a Monday morning. It is still dark 30 outside. We'll be back with more right after this.
Information Station presents Art City Now with Vic Faust.
Hey guys, welcome back into the show. Happy Monday morning, 7:05, October 27th, 2025. I'm convinced, producer Rye, and to all of you in St. Louis, this has been the fastest year ever. Literally. Think back to January. We're already at the end of October, heading into November, coming into the final 2 months of 2025 already. And we're ready to rock and roll with you as we do every morning. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m., bringing you everything from a St. Louis perspective, at least as much as we possibly can, helping you get up in the mornings, helping you get that routine going on. We appreciate it when you jump in. Obviously, you can listen to us on 590 a.m. You can also jump in on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Talk with us there. Give us ideas. Talk about St. Louis things, St. Louis stories, all of those things. We are your Lou Information Station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com. You can always check in with us there. Check out our programming for the day. You know what we do in the morning time, in the AM at least, leading into lunch. You've got our show, Art City Now. Then you've got Hot Take Central 2.0 from 8 to 10. And on Mondays, you've got the MIZ STL show. That'll be a big show today, all about Mizzou, the Vanderbilt game, the breakdown, Bo Pribula, Matt Zollers, the quarterback, Texas A&M, the new ranking, the college football playoff, Mizzou luck, officiating, dirty plays, all of that, where college football goes from that standpoint, because obviously Missouri lost that game. Illinois also lost to unranked Washington, which was unfortunate for them. I know we've got some Illini base throughout the St. Louis area as well. When you look at tonight, you've got the Chiefs in action. We'll get into them a little bit later. That's some viewing pleasure. Also, you're back in LA. The World Series kicks off again tonight. You've got the Game 3 going on tonight. When it comes to the Blue Jays and Dodgers, 7 p.m. start time, that series tied at 1 apiece. And very interesting with tonight's game, because Max Scherzer is getting the start. St. Louis's own Max Scherzer, former Parkway kid, Mizzou star, and who I call a Major League Baseball Hall of Famer. I think he's been fantastic. We'll see. So maybe borderliner, but in the postseason, he's 1-0 with a 3.1 ERA. Max trying to give Toronto enough. It'll be difficult against that Dodgers lineup in LA, but Max has done this for a long time. He's a very, very smart pitcher. And, of course, we love to see our St. Louis guys doing well. By the way, one of Max's best friends had all the headlines last week. Tony Vitello, your new San Francisco Giants manager. So Tony and Max were there, or excuse me, Tony and Max Scherzer, friends when they were at Mizzou on the Mizzou baseball team together. So another storyline from that standpoint coming up tonight. But also tonight, we've got the St. Louis Blues. What is going on with this team? They lost again on Saturday in one of the worst ways you could possibly lose a game. They were literally up 4-0. Was it 4-0? And somehow found a way to lose 6-4. It was an epic collapse. Is all lost? No. I think they've got the best road uniforms in the league. Hey, at least they look good blowing big leads, Vic. I do, man. I'm trying to find the positive. Have you seen those sweaters, those pants? That is an awesome uni. I mean, to me, their away unis are legit. Fantastic. They look good. Okay. So the Blues are up 4-0 in that game. And then, of course, the Red Wings storm back on a Saturday night. I was already sad. I was frustrated. The weather wasn't good. Mizzou just lost. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. This is as bad. And then, of course, hey, the Blues are up 4-0. At least there's some positive. Nope. They're going to lose. And now, the Blues are in last place in their division. I know they're 8 games into the year, but they're in last. They're in last place. Last. And we talked about them not being able to get off to a bad start this year. And I asked Cam Jansen this once again before the season. I said, hey, I feel like there's so much hype about this team. It's almost like we expect them to save St. Louis sports. Nope. They're good, Vic. They should have the hype. They should. I'm like, okay. And then they're not up for it yet. And I know it's early and they're trying to figure out who they are. They have some talent. One positive note is Jake Neighbors. How about Neighbors? He's got 6 goals on the year. The league leader has 8. So there's a young guy, call him a young kid, doing his part, lighting lamp. And it's tough to put a puck in the net. And he's doing it. He's doing it at a pretty darn good clip. It's their worst loss of the season, no doubt about that, because of how they lost. Just brutal. Because the last thing that you want to do, is look like that. The other thing is that, Jim Montgomery made some line changes and they look pretty good. So that's good. But then once Detroit scored, they continued to score. Are we worried about our goalies? Obviously, Hofer, it's just worst goalie in the league right now. And then Bennington's a little off. He did what he could, but he gave up 5 goals. The last one was a shootout, or was an open netter. So now you have the Blues who are 3-4-1. Things look pretty bleak, at least as you start the season. They have the fewest amount of points in their division. They've played a couple less games, but they're at the bottom, dead last. Is the fact that tonight they have a 6:00 start. They're in Pittsburgh. But guess what? Pittsburgh's pretty good this year. And they've gotten off to a good start. Pittsburgh is 6-2. So it's like, okay, they're 6-2. And they're playing pretty well. The Blues are not and have not. They've got to find a way to make this a whole lot better. They've got to find a way to turn this around somehow. A win in Pittsburgh would certainly go a long way in doing that. Because here's the other thing that the Blues have going on. They played Saturday night, lost. They had yesterday off. They get the Penguins tonight at 6 p.m., so at least there could be something to watch there with FanDuel. But they come back tomorrow, so it's a busy week of hockey. Blues back in action again tomorrow night in St. Louis at Enterprise. They host the Wings at 7:15. So they just lost to the Wings in Detroit when they had the big game basically won. And then they come back and they host the Wings tomorrow night on Monday. And then they have a game Thursday. They host the Canucks. So it's a busy week of hockey. You're talking about a team that played Thursday, Saturday, today, tomorrow, Thursday, Saturday, Monday. They've got a lot of games. And it's the same thing for everybody else because of the Olympic break this year during the middle of the season. But, man, we love our Blues. Got to see them doing well. I just hope they can return the favor to the Red Wings tomorrow night. Let's see what they can get done in Pittsburgh. Let's see. It'd be a great opportunity. Nobody's expecting them to win that game. But let's see what they can get done. It's got to start with their defense. We know that because they've given up a lot of goals this year. A lot of goals. When it comes to defense, it's like, where is the defense? It's like, we just haven't seen their defense. And it's like, okay. When's this team going to get better from a defensive standpoint? I'm glad to see him opening up the offense. Came out and scored 4, but then it's like, okay, what about their defense? What about the goaltending? What about giving up the leads that are happening all over the place? Those are the things that you want to go, oh, okay. when you talk about the goals per game that you're giving up, St. Louis is, they're giving up 3 goals a game. That's not great. It's not, literally 3.00. There are worse teams, obviously, like Pittsburgh, but hopefully they'll be able to get that done tonight, find their groove a little bit, get back on a plane, and come back to Enterprise tomorrow, where hopefully the fans will be excited to get them going. Let me see that again. I wanted to make sure that I had that correct with their schedule. I think that is a home and home, or excuse me, a back-to-back. So, yeah, that's where we were, because the Blues are today, then they've got the game tomorrow, and then Thursday. Yep, a lot of Blues action, a lot of hockey action going on for sure. 7:16 on this Monday. Thanks for jumping in with us, St. Louis. Good morning. Hope you have a really good day. The start of the work week is here. You guys jump in with us each day. We appreciate it. Like, subscribe, share the show. You can do it on X, on Facebook, on YouTube. Chime in. Let us know what's happening in your world. Anything to promote this week, we'll do that for you as well. If there's a charity, go ahead and do that too. I heard a lot of people went out to, hundreds of people showed up at that Muni garage sale over the weekend. I actually saw somebody post some of the items that they purchased on Facebook over the weekend as well. So that's a fun, good thing as well. All right, 7:16 is the time. Couple headlines as well. We told you about Cardinal Ritter. Families have hired Ben Crump, civil rights and personal injury attorney, to represent the families of nearly 24 local prep football players who they said were pepper sprayed earlier this month by police at a football game. Not both sides digging in from that standpoint. Ben Crump is going to be hosting a press conference today outside Cardinal Ritter High School. So now this has become a national story. And it's interesting because there is video of the incident that happened. Cardinal Ritter looks at the video and says, nope, this is what happened. The Massillon School District says, nope. Massillon Washington High School, they say, no. This is school protocol. If you fight and instigate, this is what we do. So both sides, it's a he said, she said, both sides pointing the finger. And then Ben Crump has now been hired to represent the Cardinal, or some of the Cardinal Ritter families. And this as the playoffs begin. Cardinal Ritter does, they'll play, I don't know when, I think they play Friday night. They've played Friday night. They host Chaminade in the first round of the district playoffs for football. Also, 3 people were arrested a couple nights ago, what they said during a street takeover in South St. Louis. I don't get this, right? I don't know if you've seen it downtown or not. Stunt driving, shooting fireworks. We've seen it over St. Louis. We've seen it from the summer. It happened near the intersection of South Grand and Gravois, obviously right there in Tower Grove South, Gravois Park neighborhoods. Police say drivers were stunt driving and shooting off commercial grade fireworks out of the vehicles. Responding officers disrupted the activities, took 3 people into custody. It's been kind of a big deal downtown, unfortunately. Police said they've tried to make it a priority to combat the stunt driving, the reckless driving, and shooting off fireworks because of a risk to public safety. They said during 2 separate incidents back in the spring, officers had to spike cars. And I remember seeing that video because they were doing donuts and burnouts and, several dirt bikes also zipping around, reckless driving. Have you seen any of that in the city where you live, or was it just basically focused over there in South St. Louis?
I've seen it where I saw it a minute ago.
I just know you lived on Washington, so I didn't know if you'd seen anything like that.
See that much, but when I used to live on the South Side, I used to see stuff like that a lot.
Okay,
so yeah.
7:19 on a Monday morning. By the way, the St. Louis machinists are rejecting the Boeing deal. They want better terms. After months on the picket line, we're talking about 3,200 machinists with the IM District 837 cast ballots yesterday morning and turned down the latest 5-year contract offer by Boeing. So it was a 3-hour vote followed by days of renewed talks with a federal mediator. I mean, after 3 previous rejections, Boeing presented what it called a revised 5-year deal featuring 24% wage increases, a $4,000 ratification bonus, and $3,000 in restricted stock units that would vest over 3 years. But members turned the contract offer down, and this is how close it was, 51 to 49%. So that shows you the union is split. I mean, they're almost 50-50 where, hey, let's end this. And then the other half is saying, nope, we're going to continue on. You start missing paychecks for 6 weeks, it's going to add up. That's going to add up. So they rejected it 51-49%. Not that they're breaking, but I'm telling you, it's very, very, very tight. Many of those who voted against said it still fell short of the contracts reached at other Boeing sites around the country. That's what their big deal was from that standpoint. So you actually had one flight operations mechanic say, I think this is actually the worst contract that we've received to date. So that's not a positive sign of good things to come for sure. But obviously, we'll keep you posted as we talk about that. Hey, by the way, the Arch is open for its 60th anniversary, despite the government shutdown. 60 years for the Golden Arch there. Despite it, you can still go down. This weekend, you had groups that lined to meet some of the men involved in building the 60-year-old arch. Pretty cool that you had men that showed up who actually built the arch, and what a feat that was here in St. Louis and already 60 years old. Very, very good from that standpoint. Love to promote that and anything else that's happening when it comes to everything in the St. Louis area. Okay, 7:22 on this Monday morning. What's happening in your neck of the woods? What's happening throughout the St. Louis area? We're here to bring all the stories that we can. Also, if you're out and driving, we know that traffic issues can be annoying, especially when it comes to construction. And if you're driving over there on South Kings Highway Boulevard in South St. Louis, now you're going to have to drive around the area of South Kings Highway and Christie Boulevards near the Southampton neighborhood. They've got new traffic lights, wider and brighter crosswalks, a bike line, bump outs, and large concrete barriers, though, in the middle of the road. So you're going to have to get used to that, see some of those things that are going on. We just try to give you updates and headlines when people let us know everything that's happening in the area. And of course, we'll continue to promote some of those things that are going on. That's for sure. Hey, by the way, if you guys, and we were talking about this a little bit earlier, if you have stories, keep us posted. Let us know from that standpoint. Also, wanted to let you guys know that the $21 million former Anheuser-Busch estate at the Lake of the Ozarks, if you haven't seen it, they're going to transform it. Pretty interesting. It's a 37-acre estate. It's located at the Village of the Four Seasons. Obviously, it was built by August Gussie Busch Jr., and then they sold it in 2023. It's now back on the market. It's pretty interesting if you check it out. 12 bedrooms, 15 bathrooms, must be nice. 9,000 square foot dock, clay tennis court, Japanese garden, fitness center, pool. Very interesting. So what they have that listed as, how about a $21 million property down at the lake? They've actually got one buyer perspective in the works. No, we'll see. Very, very interesting. Let's see, the proposal is now moving forward with the Village Planning and Zoning Committee. If you're looking for a property, got a $21 million property at the lake. By the way, it's believed to be the most expensive residential property currently listed for sale in the state of Missouri. So if you guys want to get in with your best friends, maybe go down and buy a nice property. It's sitting there ready and waiting for you. Have fun with that. 7:24 on this Monday. Temperature outside a little chilly more this morning. It's about 50 degrees. And, it's not going to get a whole lot warmer today. The weather isn't that great this morning. Just be careful on the roads. We know that when roads are wet and morning traffic in the St. Louis area, it seems like everything comes to a standstill, or there could be an accident or two all around. Just watch what you're doing there. Hey, if you want to jump in, letting us know what's happening with your plans for the weekend, Halloween weekend, if you want to promote any events, things from that standpoint that are happening as well. Of course, we love to promote that too. And of course, if there's any interviews that you guys want from that standpoint, we can do that as well. Anything that is St. Louis, anything from the water cooler standpoint, we can do that for you. Events from the weekend or events that are coming up this week, whether it's charity, whether it's a business thing, anything, we'll certainly do what we can that too. Also, I thought this was interesting. There's a national retail chain. It's planning its first St. Louis area store. And you'll see it around. It's called Sierra. It bills itself as an off-price retailer for outdoor products. They sell outdoor discounted furniture, some of those sorts of like outdoor equipment, apparel, home goods. They also own TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods, so you may be able to get some good deals. They're going to open November 22nd on South Kirkwood Road along the city of Kirkwood's main commercial corridor. So, they just opened a store up in Cape Girardeau as well. They've got 100 stores around the country, and then they're going to open up another one coming up in Springfield, Illinois. So another store you'll see coming to the Kirkwood area. Love to promote those things. Thanks for letting us know when you guys have those. Get them to us, and we'll certainly promote as best as we can some of those things that are happening all around the area. Okay. We're getting into it. Monday morning, we talked about it. You got baseball tonight. Dodgers hosting the Blue Jays. Series tied 1-1 for the baseball fans who are out there. Max Scherzer, look forward to seeing what he can do. The St. Louis own getting out there, doing what he can do tonight. Max Scherzer, the St. Louis, he won his last start. He looked pretty good in the last year. He got through 5 innings, gave Toronto a chance. Toronto just trying to make sure they get the series back. I repeat, getting that series back to Toronto, because they've got some games here in LA that are coming up. I also thought something else from a sports standpoint I didn't have a chance to bring up earlier, Rye. When it comes to college football and the amount of money that's out there, whether you've gone to a school or you've donated money, how about a $54 million payout for Brian Kelly at LSU? They're literally paying him $54 million just to go away. They wouldn't be doing that unless they had the money. $54 million. Penn State paid James Franklin $48 million. Where's all the money coming from?
Alumni, boosters, and donors.
Just
flooding into it. I don't know.
Isn't it insane? The love of sports, the passion, the addiction, that you have that much money that you just want to see a coach go away. Fan base was literally chanting to fire him during LSU's game Saturday night.
Well, you have to remember, like, LSU fans are kind of spoiled. Each coach that's came there, in their 4 years, have won a natty.
Yeah,
Saban,
until now.
Coach O, I'm forgetting the other guy, but those two.
Les Miles.
Yeah, and Miles. I don't know why I always forget Miles, but yeah, like, they all win natties. And if you can't do that in your first 4 years, especially losing they just lost to Vandy. Yeah. Hi, sayonara. We'll pay $50 million and get somebody better.
Yeah, that appears to be happening. That's for sure. All right, we'll come back after the break. We'll do a wrap up of everything today. Lots of headlines, lots of stories, sports, news, entertainment things from that standpoint. If you want to give us a call, you can do that as well. 855-282-8255, 855-282-8255. Jump in on X, Facebook, and YouTube as well if you want to. Join the show. Producer Rise here. I'm Vic Faust. This is Arch City Now. We'll be back right after this. Hello, St. Louis on a Monday, 7:35. Oh, it's tough when it starts to get a little colder and it's dark in the morning and we got the rain going on. A little tougher to get up in the mornings. But to what time Ryan and I get up at, it's tough every morning. It doesn't matter if the weather's nice or cold, right?
Right.
It's still tough getting up at dark 30. It's October 27th. We're almost at the end of October. Moving into the new times of the year, November, December, finishing out 2025. And what a fast year it has been. That is for sure. It's just been a fast year. Try to make the most of it. We head in. I mean, Halloween's Friday. Should be a very interesting week when it comes to sports. A lot of headlines, things going on. Also, when it comes to things are going on, you got the Chiefs tonight. Anybody watching the Chiefs? Monday Night Football, NFL script yesterday. Some poor officiating. Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love took on the Sunday night aspect last night. Packers look damn good. They look really good. They look like they could be the best team in the NFL last night. But there's like 4 or 5 of those teams in this year of parity. So I know a lot of people in the St. Louis area follow different teams because we don't have our own. So I know there were some people who were excited watching what they got a chance to see last night with the Packers. The Steelers are, they're all right. I mean, Aaron Rodgers seems like he's been a pretty good asset for them. Some stability at quarterback. At least gives him a chance in the offense that they run, being at the age that he is. I guess it could be worse. I still think the Steelers are going to win their division because they play in a bad division. But the Chiefs tonight, 10.5-point favorites on Monday Night Football. Commanders without Daniels, their superior quarterback. He is out. He will not be playing. That's another reason why the Chiefs hosting at Arrowhead, which is already, a difficult place to play, are a 10.5-point favorite. I don't know if you're a betting person. Do you bet that? Do you bet the Chiefs minus 10? Or do you stay away from that? I don't know. Bri, if I was forced to bet that game, I mean, first, of course, the Chiefs are going to win by 10.5, but it's the NFL. It's the NFL.
No, I'm not betting that.
The game like where the Chiefs would be up like 17 points, like most of the game.
Because
and then all of a sudden,
right? Who's the backup that's playing tonight?
I don't know. I was looking. If you get a chance, you can check that out.
Let me see. I can check.
But that's going on. Yeah, but you've got.
Oh, Mariota.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I mean, he's serviceable.
You know what? Yeah, I may take that.
Chiefs, huh?
Yeah.
Minus 10.5. But the Commanders' defense is pretty good. That's what I thought, that they're pretty deep. They desperately need a win, too. I mean, that game, it's a desperate, you're in a desperate situation right now. If you're in the NFL and if you're the Commanders, because what you're looking at right now is in the NFC, you've got teams that are ahead of you already. Now, they're not in a dominant division, which helps them very, very, very much so. But you still don't want to get far behind for those wild card spots that will be there. So Washington sits at 3-4. If they're 3-5, the Eagles are already 6-2. They're going to win it. But then in the NFC, you've got a lot of teams that are competing for those wild card spots. If the Commanders don't win tonight and they put themselves at 3-5, and I know it's early, but you're 8 games into the season, you're in trouble. You're in trouble when you've already got the Packers, the Lions, and the Bears, the Panthers, who are, believe it or not, are 500. And then you've got Seattle, LA, San Francisco. You're done. I mean, there's no spots for you. There will not be spots. That is too far. Here's the teams that don't lead their division. The 5-2 Rams, the 5-3 49ers. How about the 5-2 Lions, the 4-3 Bears, That just goes to show how many teams right there. And then you would be behind the Cowboys in your own division who are 3-4-1. So that's why I say it's a must win. I think that the Commanders are going to give their best effort. If I was I'm going to say it. I'm not even going to go there. I think maybe if I was forced to, I'd probably take the Chiefs minus 10.5. And I know it's crazy.
It's only the 10.
That's why I don't gamble.
If it was 10, maybe that 10.5 scares me because, like, I don't know, man.
No, I know. I get it. It doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense.
That's why I do player props. I don't do like.
Oh, there you go.
I do NBA player props, and I do decent, but I always try to do the power play, and that's why I mess up. So, yeah. Because I can't watch a whole game because too much stuff is going on. But I know a certain player. I'm like, you know what? Cam Thomas over 23.5. He's the only guy that shoots the ball in the Brooklyn Nets. He's going to get at least 30 points. So, I do stuff like that.
We're going to be talking more about Mizzou coming up later today on the MIZ STL show. That's from 10 to 11. But if you can't join it, we're just breaking it down again. Lots of Missouri hype and fandom. Missouri had a chance to beat Vanderbilt. They couldn't pull it out. Play calling, officiating, a silly. I never can remember seeing literally a handoff being taken from somebody in the backfield, but it happened. Those kind of things happen when you have a true freshman quarterback who just came in. I think he just turned 19 years old, maybe no experience, still played well considering all things. But at the end of the day, Missouri loses 17-12. I don't think all is lost by what I saw with Matt Zollers, and because Missouri's defense is a top 5 defense nationally. They shut down Johnny Manziel like Diego Pavia, who wanted to be him. He's not going to win a Heisman like Johnny. Missouri ended his Heisman campaign. He was brutal against a good defense. Vandy does not have a difficult schedule remaining. Does it look good for them making the playoffs? Yeah, all they have to do is beat Texas. They beat Texas, they're in. Did Missouri put a game plan together that exposes Diego Pavia? We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But for us Mizzou fans, we had tough games coming up, and you lose. So it was kind of oh man, we got to deal with this. But also, you've got a situation where you lost your quarterback. So Bo Pribula tore some ankle ligaments. He is done for the year. That means Matt Zollers, the 5-star true freshman quarterback, 3rd string to start the year, is now your guy. It's like, yippee-ki-yay, here we go. Now, he does some things that Bo Pribula can't. He can throw the ball down the field. He's got zip. He's pretty accurate. Yeah, he had some missed throws, but he was warming up. But he moved the team. He did not look frantic. He did not look scared. He was put in one of the most crazy environments you can imagine. And I didn't think he just survived. I thought he thrived. So at least Missouri has that positive coming up. You've got a kid that looks like he could be the real deal to finish out this year and beyond. Now, they'll probably be a big underdog at home. They're off this week. Gives them some more time to prepare. But it also gives Texas A&M the 3rd-ranked team in America. And by the way, when Alabama came to town, Alabama was only ranked 8th. And they had a loss. Texas A&M is undefeated. Just ended Brian Kelly's career at LSU. They're ranked 3rd in America. Who knows? They could be the best team in America. What an opportunity for Missouri's defense, which looks like they're getting better and better every week. They are legit. Corey Batoon put together a plan to stop Diego Pavia. His players did. They appear to be healthy. They could be good enough. I mean, hey, if Missouri doesn't make the playoff with a true freshman quarterback, so be it. But now you still want to have a good year. You still got to find a way to not give up on everything just because you have a brand new quarterback. But it doesn't make things any easier. So Missouri will go into that game. Texas A&M has a bye. Missouri has a bye. And then they'll meet. And we don't know the start time in 2 weeks in Columbia for that game, but it is the afternoon. It's not going to be early. It'll be the afternoon or it'll be the nighttime game. And that's what you'll get a chance to see. Is Missouri there? By the way, Missouri's ranked 19th in America right now. So they didn't fall all that much. They've got 2 losses. But there was one thing that happened in that game, and I don't know if you guys saw this or not, and I'm sure you did when you were watching the game, but if you looked at the replay is brutal about what this defensive tackle tried to do for Vanderbilt against Bo Pribula's ankle. And I hope somebody asked Bo if it happened when this kid was doing it or if it happened at another point in time. But this video of him literally yanking and trying to like crack Bo Pribula's ankle. It was a dirty play. It could have been considered a football play at first, but he continued to torque on the ankle and try to pull it away from where Pribula was. It was total BS. Officiating didn't cost Missouri, but it certainly didn't help him in the game. That's for sure. Thompson, we say hola or aloha to you as well on a Monday morning. Glad you're in with us this morning. Good morning to you, Paul. Thanks for jumping in. Also, Donna, good morning. Thanks for being with us on the show. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. All things St. Louis and St. Louis related, Missouri related, and the national topics that make sense from a standpoint of sports, news, entertainment, and so forth. If you guys want to jump in, say hi, promote anything, you can do it from that standpoint. We appreciate you watching, listening, subscribing, and sharing the show. The phone number to give us a call and talk about anything from a standpoint happening in news that we talk about is 855-282-8255. Once again, 55282-8255. You can jump in on X, Facebook, and YouTube as well. Just finishing up talking about that Missouri situation when it comes to who they have and what they have. Bottom line is this. Pribula's out for the year. Zollers look pretty good. We'll find out what Zollers is like. Now, the expectations for him against Vandy was like, okay, just let's see what you can do. Now he's got to take on a number 3 Texas A&M team who's undefeated, and their defense is legit as well. Nothing like getting your first game action against the number 10 team in America and then the number 3 team. But he's got some moxie. He's got some confidence. He has a live arm. And the moment wasn't too big for him. He didn't have a scared look on his face. That's what I liked. So I don't think all is lost for Missouri yet. I really don't. Some people may think it is, but I don't. And they've got a lot of good recruiting coming up. I know I heard people say that Eli Drinkwitz is not a great game manager. I've heard that all over the place. Okay, whatever. If they win that game, people are talking differently. That's for sure. So I don't think all is lost. Let's wait and see what happens against Texas A&M. And then you still have 3 games after that I think are winnable games. I do, because your defense is so good. Time for the coaches to make the money that they make. That's for sure when it comes to Mizzou, but it's a week off. Mizzou falls to 19. Just feel really bad for Bo Pribula. Not because of the injury, but I would like to hear if his ankle was hurt when it was being torqued back by a defensive tackle. And the video shows it clearly what this kid was trying to do. Maybe Eli will address it. I'm not quite sure. You don't have time to sit back and feel sorry for yourself, certainly in college football anymore. But you certainly need to call out cheap plays, dirty plays, things like that can happen. Yeah, I've been in the piles. I've been in tackles. Lots of people have. Things are done, but it was really blatant. Unfortunate to see from that standpoint. This is Arch City Now, here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Following us in just a little bit here is Hot Take Central 2.0, the former Blue Cam Jansen and Cardinals broadcaster, Jim the Cat Hayes. They'll be talking lots. You got World Series tonight, 7 o'clock. Dodgers hosting Game 3 against Toronto. Max Scherzer, the Parkway product and Mizzou product, I call him a Hall of Famer, is on the mound for Toronto, trying to maybe get another 5-6 innings in, help Toronto. That's tough in LA against that lineup, but we'll see. Mad Max on the mound. Love to see the St. Louis guys doing what they can do. Also, when it comes to hockey, oh boy, Blues back in action tonight, 6 o'clock in Pittsburgh. I guarantee they probably wanted to be on the ice yesterday after having a 4-0 lead on Saturday night, disappear, evaporate, give up 5 unanswered goals, and then an empty netter. The Blues are just 3-4-1 to start the season, and they got to get this right because there's a lot of hockey coming up in a short amount of time. Maybe that's a good thing. Not a lot of time to sit around and think about it. You can get back out on the ice because of the winter break this year. That's pushed the schedule into a situation where you're playing a lot more games in a shorter period of time. So the Blues lost in Detroit. Bad loss. Bad loss. Defense, goaltending, not where it should have been. Now you get to play the Penguins tonight at 6. Tomorrow night, the Blues are back home here in St. Louis at Enterprise, hosting the Red Wings, a chance for a little revenge there, 7:15. Then they have another game Thursday. Vancouver comes to town. And then Saturday, they're back out on the road again in Columbus. So it's almost one of the situations where they're playing every other day, or at least they're in a period of that time. But the problem right now is they've got the fewest amount of points in their division. Played a couple less games than one team, one less than another that are just ahead of them. But they have the fewest amount of points in the division. You're 8 games in. Something has to change. Something needs to get done. And, of course, we need to figure that out with the Blues. They got to figure out who they are. The positive with the Blues is you saw some offensive production the other night. Plus, Jake Neighbors, he's got 6 goals. The league leader has 8. So at least it looks like we have a little budding superstar there, Neighbors. That would be really nice to see him continue the pace that he's playing at right now. And, of course, we get excited about those St. Louis things that are happening. Go to it, get it done, see what you can get done tonight. That's for sure. We'll be watching to see what happens there. By the way, Chiefs tonight, we talked about that a little bit earlier. That game just after 7. So you got some things on. You've got Chiefs, you got World Series, and of course, you've got hockey. All those 3 things going on tonight. High school football in the St. Louis area. Districts kick off this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday games. If you want to shout out your team, you can do that as well. You know, we like to promote that, promote the teams, all that's going on. You've also got Ben Crum, civil rights and personal injury attorney. He's going to be doing a press conference today at Cardinal Ritter High School. He's been hired, and he's representing the families of nearly 24 Cardinal Ritter football players who said they were illegally pepper sprayed when they were playing a football game. Well, it was at the end of a football game when there was a fight, a little brawl, and the handshake line. I mean, really no need for it to even be happening in the first place. That's on the coaches when that stuff happens, by the way. That's on the coaches. Coaches need to be called out for their players. Players need to respect their coaches enough not to get into that kind of crap, unless the coaches are allowing it to happen. It's animal behavior after a game that's not needed by anybody. Nobody needs to be doing. You should not be fighting in a handshake line after a game is over. It just should not happen. When that happens, then all hell can break loose. So they're going to try to figure out if these security guards at the police game were in the wrong by pepper spraying Cardinal Ritter football players. There's video. At least there's some evidence. The problem is Cardinal Ritter family see it one way. The Basilian Washington High School and their authorities see it a different way. So it's back and forth. He said, she said, finger pointing, and so forth. So what will happen? I don't know, but there's going to be a press conference today at Cardinal Ritter High School to try to figure that out and everything that's going on there. So, unfortunate, but got to figure something out. There will be a lawsuit, and I don't know, one school district. I can tell you this, they're probably not going to be playing each other again. That's for sure. I think we'll cancel that series as best as we can. If anything else, by the way, we appreciate you guys jumping in with us. We were talking about the show lineup for today. We take you Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. right here for Arch City Now. Producer Raya alongside all the way. By the way, thanks for the job you do. You do a pretty good job, man. You really do.
Thank you.
Keep things rocking and rolling. Love it. Appreciate you jumping in. You're trying to do work, and I'll call on you and be like, what? I'm doing other work here too. But thanks again for the work that you do. And then you've got Hot Take Central 2.0 from 8 to 10 each day with Jim the Cat Hayes, and obviously Cam Jansen. Then today from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, we'll break down everything with that Mizzou show, the SEC on the MIZ STL show. Grant Salzman, the host, I join him on Mondays. That show airs on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, by the way, 10 to 11 o'clock. Glad you guys will be with us for that today to break down that game, or at least the game from Missouri this past week. And then from 11 to 1, Monday through Friday, it is the show with Charlie Tuna and the Posse. Once again, Charlie and the Tuna and the Posse each day from 11 to 1 o'clock. And by the way, if you guys have stories, ideas, interviews, want to promote anything St. Louis, business, events, charities, let us know. Jump in. You can send us a message, and we'll certainly do that. We will go out and get those interviews, those stories, as we do from week to week. And we love promoting anything and everything from a St. Louis standpoint. So Halloween's on Friday. If you guys get into that, you can tell us what outfits you're doing. If there's events, places, things from that standpoint that you may be going to. Also, if you guys are looking forward to anything else that we don't know about, we'd love to hear about it. Anything and everything when it comes to St. Lou. Hey, by the way, Ryan, what wrestling event was in town this weekend again that you were at?
Glory Pro.
Are they in frequently, or do they travel the country? And what level of wrestling was it?
It's independent. It's an independent wrestling group. I don't really know that much about it, but I do know, I think they have like an event once a month, maybe. I don't really know. I was really just there getting some clips for wrestling on the Spectrum and enjoying some free wrestling,
Absolutely.
Watching people jump off ropes and dive head first into people it's crazy. So
yeah, I guess it is. And that follows what was here last week too. So guys, thanks for joining us today. As always, Arch City Now. I'm Vic Faust. Rye alongside. Have an awesome day. Stay positive. And of course, remember, we are your Lou information station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com each day. We will catch you bright and early, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Enjoy your day. Hot Take Central 2.0 coming up next. And I'll see you at 10 o'clock for the MIZ STL show.